Waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now from Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 18 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Friday morning. Hope you're doing well. Gosh, the next book we're going to talk about has affected me probably as profoundly as any profound book has, and there haven't been that many. I guess I'm thinking of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, as far back as that goes, affected me. This book has really affected me. It's called 11 Days in May, The Conversation That Will Change Your Life. It is written by J.D. Messenger, who's on the phone, so I'm looking so forward to speaking to him. I just would like to introduce it this way. When somebody you really love passes away, you often wonder, what was the whole purpose of that whole thing? You know, they went through a whole life. Why would somebody, start at one point and achieve so much and give so much? Why would that, what's the whole plan? I mean, why would God say, okay, no more giving, you're done? This is a person, you think of somebody who gives, okay, or somebody who loves, or somebody who has just always been there. Why? Why do we take somebody like that away? Somebody who's done so much. We all die, obviously. We all reach an end, but we don't know the answer to that question. And if ever you've asked, it's just a speculation. You don't really know. You can go to a scientist, you can go to a religious leader, and you can get answers, but you walk away and you still say, I still don't know. I remember this movie, the What the Bleep Is Do We Know, or something like that, and it was a fascinating movie, but the truth is, what the bleep do we know? So I guess my conclusion has always been, well, just this is what I have. This is what I have to work with. I'm going to make the best of it and do the best I can, and I'll leave it up to God. And I guess that's what faith is about. Our next guest has had an extraordinary experience that he writes about. He has also an extraordinary list of credentials. If I read let me read some of them because I want to demonstrate what I mean. J.D. Messenger is a senior advisor to the Singapore Prime Minister, members of Parliament in Great Britain, China, Brunei, Australia, Malaysia, one of 37 distinguished graduates from the United States Naval Academy. He obviously is a creative person. He's written a book. He's the host of a TV show and a radio show. Is he an executive for Exxon? Is that right, Robin?
Yes.
An Exxon executive
yes.
who supervised the Valdez oil spill cleanup. Holy mackerel.
That's awesome.
And I think he broke his neck twice.
Yeah.
And one of those broken neck experiences led to the book. During rehabilitation, he... I don't know if you want to say he passed out, but he had some prophetic visions over the course of 11 days, thus the book title, 11 Days in May, and I believe the neck-breaking incident was in the year 2000, if I remember right. He's on the phone, so let me not take any more of his time. We've already taken enough. J.D. Messenger, what an honor. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Well, thank you so much, Robin and Larry. It's my honor, and I was laughing when you were talking, and I have goosebumps all over me, which is one of the 36 parables in 11 Days in May. What is a truth bump? And so many of things that you were just saying, they're just, it's so beautiful. I've had this amazing life where I did all of these unbelievable things, and I actually have 4 world first inventions to my name, and I will tell you, none of it was me. None of these, the games, the books, the television shows, 11 Days in May, I died. I broke my neck, like you said, in 2000 was the time where I left my body. And when I came back, I just started seeing things that are all around us that we don't normally see. And I watched my hand write, not knowing what it was, and I became fluent in Mandarin in 60 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
And the message, I know we don't have a lot of time, but everything happens for a reason. If we cut to the bottom line, there are no accidents. We are absolutely surrounded by guides and guardians and angels, and when we let go, when we tap in, when we ask, we receive, and it's a completely different life that I led before I went to the other side. And on the other side, working, in my old life, I thought money made me happy. I thought that who I was my job. I thought that life was a destination stop at station 401k. And,
Yeah. One of the things that came up in the book was form. In other words, what we are now.
Yeah.
And it almost... And I've heard this from other philosophers as well, but it almost seems as if there's this notion that this life we're living right now, this form, this is really just a tiny, absolutely small dot on the map of everything. And yet there must be some reason for it. If there's a reason for everything, then there's a reason for us occupying this form.
There absolutely is, and I say we're a speck of a creature on a speck of a planet, which is in a speck in a galaxy, which is a speck in the solar system, which is, or the other way, which is a speck in the universe. We're like the tiny little people in Whoville on a snowflake.
That's right.
And the book, this happened the way everything happened, and I just saw it, and I ran into my room and I started writing, and I'm going to come to your point in a second here, but I talk in parables, and this, I just kept writing for 11 days straight, and I would see the kids at 2 in the morning, or at 4 or 5 in the morning when I'm going to bed, and they're going to school, and after 11 days, my wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I think I wrote a book," and she said, "Well, what's it about?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't read it yet."
Oh, no.
And the point is that we are a soul, and we are here for a reason, and we are here to learn lessons, and that everything that's in all the great books and all the holy books and said by all the masters, because I experienced it, I don't talk about things hypothetically, I only share the things that I have personally experienced. And when you can learn a language in 60 hours, when you can write a book in 11 days that becomes a #1 bestseller, it was written, by the way, it was finished on May 11th, 2012, so it's going to be a birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're trying to get back to #1. So if you think of a present for Mother, this would be a great book. But the point is that what I came to realize from all these experiences that, life is real, this experience is real, but as an energy expert, one of the few global energy experts writing position papers for presidents and all that, I merged spirituality and religion and science, and I believe that everything is energy, and energy is photons, and photons is light, and I'm a light being. And this life is energy and, God in form, but it exists within this world of light. And once you come to that realization, once you accept and truly become a believer, then you see every single thing in a totally different light. There's no accidents. Breaking a neck wasn't a bad thing. It was a blessing in disguise. I had one man call me up after reading the book, and he said, "How can you say that something bad is not bad, And I said, "Well, why are you so upset, sir?" And he said, "I lost my leg, And I said, "It has to do with your purpose." And he started to get shaky. He said, "What do you mean by that?" And I said, "What is it that you do?" And there was silence. And he said, "I work with disabled veterans."
Oh.
And I said, "Do you think that maybe by losing your leg, it helped you, relate more to the veterans?" And he just started crying. And when and I have goosebumps all over me, which are truth bumps. And you see, when you realize these things, when you look at it from God's point of view, you see things from a totally different perspective.
Yeah, it's not always easy to understand, though, and I guess in the grand scheme of things, you always have to wonder, if you're even right about your speculation. I've often thought that the key to it all is to have simple faith, just as most religions teach you. Just have the faith of a child, and that would mean to me that questioning it is okay. I mean, you can question it, but there's not another creature on the whole in all of creation, other than human beings, that questions it. We're the only ones.
Yeah.
See, that's our mind. When our mind is in charge, things get all screwed up. And your ego, this mind, is all focused about yourself and survival and preservation. And your mind is in charge when you're always talking, when you're always thinking about the past and regretting it, or always fearing something in the future. Your mind is in charge. When you let go, when you really let go, when that book was written, when these creations were made, I don't know exactly why I let go, but I mean, I had totally let go of the past, let go of the future, and was doing the Eckhart Tolle Power of Now thing. And, you become aware of everything that is around you, and it's a beautiful experience when you really become in touch with other people, with nature, and the signs. I mean, God talks to us through radio, people, dogs. If you got to the end of the book and the epilogue, there's 4 or 5 stories of amazing signs and experiences, including a homeless person shouting at me, giving an answer to a prayer.
What is so amazing about you've written in your book, but about your personal life, it seems that you personally have attained harmony in all facets of your life. I mean, you work with all end of the spectrum, from spiritualism through science, through politics. And, there are people in this world that they focus, they're just politicians, they're just scientists, but they just want to be at odds with each other. How come they just can't accept what everybody else believes and live in harmony to make the world a better place instead of fighting all the time?
Because their mind, you see, our bodies have 100 trillion cells, and each one of those cells holds 1 billion documents, and in those cells are programs. We call them tapes and all kinds of things, and they've been running a program. I'm not loved, I'm afraid, I don't have enough. It's what I call the old world mosaic. They're being bombarded and perpetuated by communications in society that are telling them, buy the branded shirt, look at the hot girl, look at the six-pack on the guy. These programs are being created in their cells, and their mind is become a machine. And they're unable to get out of this trap. They're not bad people. We all suffer. This is suffering. And what they need is someone or something to help them snap out of it.
How many of us have ever had this thought that, when I die, I've got so many questions for God. I am just gonna sit with Him if I can for a while and just ask so many questions. And the answers again go back to our need to know for whatever reason. And I honestly don't think we do need to know. I think we want to know. But our lives, if we absolutely have faith, will continue doing, as long as we have faith to follow whatever that is that's nudging you. I mean, you must have had some nudge to learn Mandarin.
Oh, yeah.
So what
60 hours.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And by the way, I wanted to mention, JD, that as I read the book, I keep going back to the beginning and saying, wait a minute, is this a novel? Is this a true story? Or what is this? That was the part of it that was kind of fascinating to me. But at the same time, I understood the profoundness of it.
There was a lot of people that wanted me to make it a novel. They said it'll sell more copies. And it would have sold more copies. And I said, no, I can't do that, because this is a book about discovering your truth. I'm not trying to tell you what truth is, but I know that you can discover your own truth about life, about living, about God. And that is the message of Jesus. That is the message of Buddha. That is the message of Lao Tzu and Confucius and Socrates and Plato. And, there's nothing new to be written or nothing new to be said that hasn't already been said or written many times.
I agree.
I agree.
The problem we have, though, is people interpreting those teachings and getting it wrong.
Well, yeah, What the Bleep, in the beginning of the book, Michal Ledwith, who was in What the Bleep, is a dear friend. He was the theological advisor to the Pope and the Holy See for 17 years, and he taught theology to archbishops and cardinals and all that. Wonderful, very funny man, was a Catholic priest for 35 years. He says all of the same things. And, if you go back to what you were saying about having faith, we have that in our children. You see it in your children. One of the biggest, most profound changes in my life, people said, what has changed the most in my life, is my relationship with my family. I mean, before I was living to work instead of working to live. And you should see me now. I play with my dog all the time. I love my kids more. Our children actually, my kids answered my prayers to God. That's one of the stories. 3 times in a row. It's 1 in a billion when he was 3. And he still does that now when he's 15. But the thing about the kids, you see, is they don't have those fears and they don't have those doubts, and they're still in touch. They're still seeing and talking and dreaming and playing, and that's, we need to get that child back.
Yeah, I think so too. If I were to compare us as human beings to other things in nature, and just look at the acorn that falls into the rose garden, and starts to grow, and if the roses could talk to him, going, you are not doing what you're supposed to do. I don't know, but I don't feel like being a rose. I feel like growing up to be like a tree or something.
Yeah.
And it could be outcast, And that happens in our world. I mean, you have people who say, you know what I want to do? I want to be a chef. A chef? You'll never be a chef. Or I want to be a dancer. A dancer? You're a 7-foot tall man. Come on.
You're talking about the first hurdle. There's 4 main hurdles in life that I've come to accept. The first one is overcoming the naysayers. I said earlier I have 4 world first inventions, which I do not take credit for. I am not the author of this book. I was blessed to be the instrument. But the first hurdle, in every one of those amazing things I created, there were dozens of people that said, you can't do that. Don't try that. That's dangerous. Messenger, you're an idiot to think that you can create a TV show. You've never done that before. You're a fool, Messenger, to think, who could write a book in 11 days? That's got to be, So the first hurdle is overcoming the naysayers. The second hurdle is overcoming what we call failure. There is no such thing as failure. It is, you have to try it a different way. You have to go around. You got to jump over. It's resilience. You've got to have, number 1, to jump that first hurdle, you got to have confidence, courage, and faith. To jump the second hurdle, you got to be resilient, and you got to believe in your dreams, and you got to fight for your dreams. Then the third hurdle comes, which for me was at age 42, and that's your setback. The disease, the death, the divorce. You've got to go over and around that setback. And then you get to the 4th hurdle, the most important hurdle, discovering who you are and why you're here, and to fulfill your purpose. And this is The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell.
And you know what I think about that last hurdle? When you're there, suddenly something hits you that, oh my gosh, it's been here all along.
Exactly! It's always been there, and it's inside, and it's so funny.
It is the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy always had the shoes.
Yep. That's so beautiful, Larry. You and Robin are doing a great job.
You did a great job. The one thing I will, I don't know how to say this without, we don't have enough time to really get it, but I don't know always that everything is done as an instrument. Billy Joel one time said, I don't know that I write these songs. I think they come from God. And I said, come on, only the good die young. He didn't write that song.
Right.
I don't know. 11 Days in May is the title of this book, and it'll hold you. It's been years since I had a book that held me like this. It's written by our guest, even though he doesn't claim it was. J.D. Messenger, 11 Days in May, The Conversation That Will Change Your Life, and I have a copy. I'd like to give it away. The rest of us have to go buy it. J.D., how do we do that? Do you have a website?
JDMessenger.com, we've got a big special and promotion starting today and tomorrow and going over on Amazon.com. You can buy the ebook. You can go Barnes & Noble, iTunes, all that. The ebook won the Innovation of the Year award as the world's first full immersion book with art and video and graphics and interactive features. So if you like ebooks, I recommend it on an iPad or...
there you go. It works on the ebook. All right, let me give this one away. Good morning. The book is yours. Who's this?
Larry, this is Judy, and I appreciate the book.
You got it, Judy. It'll be waiting for you. You're welcome. Okay, the rest of us have to go buy it. You know, I really appreciate what you have stimulated us to think about. That, I think, is probably the most important part of what this book accomplishes.
Well, Larry, I got a gift for you, okay? We're coming up on Mother's Day, so during the day and shows, however you want to do it, you get 10, let's make it 11. You get 11 guests, and I'll send the studio 11 books for you, and I'll sign them, okay?
All right, that's awesome.
So you get my email and tell me where to send them, or I'll send them to the studio. So happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful souls out there that have taught us everything we've known and learned. It's beautiful.
Well, if you want to hang on, I'll let you speak to Robin off there, and then you can give her your email, okay?
Sure.
Okay, J.D. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today. We will take a little break, and we'll be right back.
It's been 500 years since Spanish explorers first set foot on Florida's shores, naming our beautiful state Florida because of the many varieties of colorful flowers the Spaniards could see. I want to tell you another piece of history that is actually not his story, but her story. It's about all of the moms in your life. You and I wouldn't have a history if it wasn't for her story. And with Mother's Day this Sunday, you'll be happy to know that Kenny's Place Nursery has knockout roses on sale. Get Mom a 1-gallon size for just $8 and a 3-gallon size for just $15. Celebrate Mother's Day and her story with the same thing that gave Florida her name, flowers. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful. It is true that the smartest listeners listen to The Source, WOCA. And it's also true that the luckiest listeners tune into The Source. Or maybe lucky and smart go hand in hand.
I make my own luck. So do I.
Linda is a smart listener and also a lucky listener.
Hello, Linda. This is Larry at WOCA.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
You are the winner of 2 3-day passes to Walt Disney World.
Isn't that funny? I cannot believe that. I can't believe I won, you know? Cool. That is so exciting. Yeah, that is really great. I'm excited.
You never know what prizes will be given away on WOCA The Source, but every smart listener knows that you make your own luck by keeping your dial set on Ocala's first news, talk, and entertainment station, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, WOCA The Source.
I make my own luck. So do I.
This is Don with ABC Frederick's Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Frederick's Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Larry, nice haircut.
Oh, thanks, Robin. Looks like you had something different done, too.
Yes, I did. Thanks for noticing. I went to Lupe at Merle Norman on the Boulevard for a fresh cut, some summer highlights, and a facial.
No kidding. That's who I go to. I didn't know she did all that.
She does coloring, waxing, styling, updos, microderms, and she does it all for prices that won't break the bank.
Sounds like you can take the whole family there.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Hi, this is Lupe. Let me be your